Clearly, the economy needs an awful lot of help, as Jay Powell said today. At the same time, at some
Right.
point, do we need to be a little concerned about how we're going to pay for all this? I mean, we had $3 trillion already appropriated. Now we're talking about another $3 trillion potentially. Is there sort of going to weigh on us in a different way?
Well, I get asked this question all the time at the back home in Minnesota. People are wondering, what we do about this. But here's something I think that we have to keep in mind here is that the federal government is in a unique position of both being at the scale that we need right now, but also having the potential and the power to borrow money and therefore provide the kind of stimulus to the economy that we are really, really going to need. So the cost of not taking action right now seem to me to be so much greater than the costs of worrying about a deficit and then holding back. I do not believe that 5, 10 years from now, people are going to look back at what we did in Congress and say, oh, you did too much. I just do not believe that. And many of us have been looking at the lessons of the last really great economic catastrophe, big economic catastrophe in our country, the Great Depression. And we watched as policymakers sort of dithered as the Great Depression came upon us, and that their lack of decisive action early on when Hoover was still president put us in the situation that caused us to be so much deeper into the trough, and it took us so much longer to get out. We can learn from that experience, and we can seize the moment to be aggressive. And these are things that we need to do. Think about the power, for example, if the United States were to marshal a massive public service effort like we did in the Great Depression. And we found, people who want to make a contribution, who want to work, and they then are out there helping us to do the contact tracing that we're going to need hundreds of thousands of people to do. A national service program would be one example of the kind of big, bold, forward-looking effort that we need to make. And here's another one that is near and dear to my heart. At the end of the Great Depression, or in the Great Depression, we said that every single household in this country ought to be able to turn on the lights and have the power go on. And out of that grew our effort at rural electrification. We could also, as a stimulus measure and also as a future economic competitiveness measure, do the same kind of thing when it comes to expanding broadband, high-speed internet access to everybody in this country. And to me, those are the kinds of that's the kind of bold thinking that we should be making right now, even as we are also doing everything we can to rescue states and communities and individuals from this economic crisis.
Senator, really appreciate your being with us. Always good to have you with us. That is Senator Tina Smith of the state of Minnesota. Coming up next.